What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Squeaky Cheese back at it again for another video. You guys, this is a figure that I have been so excited for. I'm just going to skip everything and just go straight to the figure. Here is the Star Wars Black Series that I have been very excited for. Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm just so excited for this figure. I was waiting ever since it was announced months back, and I was just keeping my eye out for it, and I just couldn't find it, and I gave up. But then I went to my Walgreens the other day, and I just picked up this figure, and I was so happy to find him. So here he is. Look, just taking a look at the packaging, we see Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi in the bottom left corner. Concept art with the Hasbro logo, warning sign, yada yada yada. Obi-Wan Kenobi, just the name on the side there. And on the back we have a little bit of a bio for the figure. Clone Commander Obi-Wan Kenobi, a legendary Jedi Master. Obi-Wan Kenobi was a nobleman and gifted in the ways of the Force. He trained Anakin Skywalker, served as a general in the Republic Army during the Clone Wars, and guided Luke Skywalker as a mentor. Pretty broad description of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but you know, that pretty much just gives you the gist of his roles during the Star Wars universe itself. And taking a look at the armor there, just a little bit of my own input. The armor you will see here is more common throughout the Star Wars 2003 Clone Wars cartoons that were before the Clone Wars that most people know about today. Comics that sort of just showed the Clone Wars in its earliest parts of, you know, just like the first days of the Clone Wars. This is the kind of armor Obi-Wan Kenobi will wear, you know, clone armor with a cape. But let me just show you instead of talking about it. Alright, so here we have him. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Whew, my god. We finally got the figure out of the packaging. So, I guess we can just take a look at the little accessories it comes with first. Here we have his classic blue lightsaber. Yeah, so just taking a look at the blade here, it's just a classic blue Black Series blade. Transparent, of course. And letting the camera focus, you can just take a look at the hilt of the blade. And just seeing, it's just like subtle little details, but you can see how it just resembles Obi-Wan's lightsaber. So pretty nice, just a standard gold, nothing too fancy. And of course, just like I guess like a few other Black Series figures we've seen in the past. Here we have the new like I don't know, I think this is like sort of like a base plate for them to stand on. A little triangle of like a little like sleeve right there, or not sleeve, or just like a little area where you can just insert the foot. Star Wars Black Series Star Wars Black Series clearly displayed on it. Little thin piece of plastic, so that's okay. But now with those out of the way, let's take a look at the figure. So, looking at the figure here, let's see. So classic clone armor, just like any other like clone Black Series figure. Let's see, just taking a look at it, you got the wrist communicator there. You know, basic armor, just as another figure. But more importantly, differently than any other of the Clone Wars figures we've gotten in the past, this figure actually has a cloth cape, and like as it goes throughout the figure. And taking a feel of, like just feeling it right here, it's not like, I'm not too familiar about my different like kinds of like fabric and which ones are which, but just feeling it right now is kind of like a very thin like fabric. And it's like, I don't know how to explain it, just like on a really thin like cover or something that you would have on your bed. That's probably the best way I could describe it. Very beautiful head sculpt, truly captures like the face we all know and love about Obi-Wan Kenobi. You can just take a look at his face. Let me just, there you go, and you can see his eyes and his beard and just everything about his face. Just like two little white buttons there for, you know, his chest plate. the little belt for most clone troopers to have all their weapons and all their equipment and all their gear on. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Just clone armor with the cloth that pretty much goes all over. And if you just take open, like, put the cape over his head, he's like, "Whoa, what happened?" You can just see that it continues, like, just a skirt going around him, and just the cloth also covers up his back. And I'm sure if you were to just try to peel, I don't want to tear it or anything, you can see it's like the same clone, like, sort of like backpack they would have. And it's all covered up really nicely with the cape. I really like that. Alright, so I guess now at this point we'll get into the posability. So taking a look at the head, you can go, of course, 360, but I don't know anyone who want to do that all the time. Can look up that far, which actually is pretty good. Looks up a lot further than any other clone troopers, considering it doesn't have a helmet holding it back. And it can look down that far, which is really good head posability. I gotta say, this is probably the best head posability I've seen on a Black Series. Let's see, rotation at the shoulder. Not too much on the up and down because of the armor plating, but that's okay. We got a bicep swivel. And taking a look at that arm bend. Not too bad. I think Rex had like one, Black Series Captain Rex had maybe one more, but that's still pretty good. Alright, and then let's see about up and down at the waist. The cloth in there doesn't really get in the way. Left and right. It's pretty good. Just a little, probably like a heads up while I'm doing this is with this cloth here that's sort of like pinching in the shoulder and his belt. I probably wouldn't twist too hard, or probably just be more careful about it, just so that way you don't mess it up or tear anything. Just how Jobby would say, beautiful spread.
Beautiful spread.
Jesus. Beautiful spread there. It's a pretty decent spread. Let's see. Thigh swivel right here. Probably can go all the way around. Again, be careful with the cloth so you don't tear it. Here we have, let me just turn that. Double bend at the knee, always nice. Then going down at the foot here, we got it kind of like revolves around the ball joint there. It's already at its lowest right there, and it can go up that far, and that's the lowest it can go. So yeah, honestly, this figure is really, really nice. A really good figure. I appreciate the cloth and the bending ability, you know, or like the posability of his shoulders and everything. And let's see, now we just put his lightsaber in hand. And there you go. It's a little strange that he has a trigger hand. Maybe if you just want to like take a blaster from another Black Series figure and just put it on there if you wanted to. Probably be better if you had him holding it in this hand. There we go. Just holding it up like that might be, you know, actually might be better in the other hand. It's totally up to you of how you want to do it. Alright, let me just get a little pull thing. Alright, so taking a look at the figure here, I just love the way he poses. I'm sure if you really try, you can get a lot of great shots of him just in his battle, like doing some battle stances, or, you know, just slashing his lightsaber around. And, you know, sometimes some people just complain about this little base plate here, but this actually helps if you're just trying to just get him in just any pose, because that way you can just pinch his foot in here, and that way it'll just stay in a really, really good position no matter what happens. So honestly, this is a pretty good figure. Alright, and just in like my last videos, here we have the classic fig scale that I just drew up. So after, you know, looking at this figure and getting a feel for him a little bit, on a scale of 1 to 5, I would put him between like a 3 and a 4. You know, probably just bump him up to a 4 just to be generous, because this figure is pretty good. Great posability. The detailing is amazing. No smudges as far as I can see. Love the lightsaber. Classic blue lightsaber. The cloth is a nice touch, and I enjoy how they were thorough with it, making sure that he was very well covered and everything. Just like the cloth looks great on him, the armor looks great. There's only a few things that I would probably complain about. One thing is that the figure doesn't come with a clone helmet to complete the set. And I guess I can understand if they just want to capture him just the way he is, but it's a little tough to understand when the original Clone Wars Kenobi had a helmet and he was probably cheaper than this figure, and this figure doesn't have a helmet. Beside that, there's no really other... I don't really have any other complaints about this figure. Of course, like my... how do I explain this? Of course, this is a Black Series figure, so giving it a 4 on my scale is being very, very generous. And not even being generous, this is a really good figure. I just want to bump him up just one more just because. But it is a Black Series figure, so you have to remember I'm not going to put it at a 5. Because, you know, this quality is not the quality like Figma or... why am I forgetting the other brands? Figma or SH Figure Arts or any of those other bigger brands. But overall, this is a very, very good figure. Very high quality and just great addition to any Star Wars collector. Or, you know, maybe if you just think he looks cool, just pick him up. So, this is the end of the video. I just wanted to thank you all for watching and thank you for just enjoying my review of the Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi. Be sure to go follow my account on Instagram where I'll be sure to post a lot of like toy photography of this figure. Great figure. Basically exceeded all of my expectations, even shattering a few for Black Series. So, thank you all for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, check out my other videos, as well as check out other channels that I have featured in my featured channels area, because those channels have some pretty good content too. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.